Good evening, I'm Pinky Webb. Tonight we ask the questions, we tackle the issues, we clarify matters, and we get on point. BONOAN out, Dizon in. Amid alleged corruption and flood control projects, the embattled Public Works Department gets a new leader. And just barely into the post, he is already shaking things up, ordering the courtesy resignations of officials within the agency. But how do you really clean up a mess like the flood control scandal? Let's get on point with the DPWH Secretary, the new DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon. Secretary, good to have you.
Good evening.
I have to get used to it, to DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon.
Believe me, I'm not used to it, Pinky.
Yeah,
I'm not used to it yet.
How long has it been? 2 days, no?
2 days.
About 48 hours.
And only 6 months in the OTR. So
yeah.
It's been a roller coaster.
It has surely. And you started this, you hit the ground running, asking for courtesy resignations of undersecretaries, ASECs, division heads, and district engineers.
And regional directors also.
And regional directors. First of all, has anyone submitted their courtesy resignations?
Yes, I think we have received some. We just did our formal turnover today. I just came from DPWH and I was with Secretary BONOAN, and some of the undersecretaries were there. Not all, because some were also called to the congressional hearing.
Right.
That was ongoing in the afternoon. So,
I was actually watching the turnover ceremony.
Yes.
And then there was a part there that they asked some of the undersecretaries to have a picture taken with you and the outgoing Secretary BONOAN. And I was wondering, how were they feeling being beside you when you were asking for their courtesy resignation?
You know, I think, in fairness to career government officials, I think they're pretty used to something like this, especially when there are new heads of agencies that come in. But I think asking for the courtesy resignations is really a way for the president to really make a statement to not just to DPWH, but really to the entire country that we're serious. No, because I asked the president about this right after the oath taking. I asked him what he thought about what I would do, and he said, we have to show the people we are serious, because he is very serious. And I think we've seen this since the sauna, where he spoke very emphatically about his frustration, his disgust over what he saw. And we saw it even more during his inspections of these flood control projects.
Which you joined, in Bulacan.
I joined one.
In Bulacan.
It was just by chance, because I was with him in the graduation of the Philippine Merchant Marine Academy in Zambales, and he asked me to tag along and look at the two Kalumpit projects in Barangay Bulusan and Frances. And I don't know, maybe you noticed, Pinky, but I think everyone noticed that as the inspections of the president proceeded, he was getting visibly more frustrated, and especially during the last few ones, the one in the Ghost Project in Baliwag and the inspections in Baguio, it was more than frustration. It was already anger that we saw from the president. So,
in fact, he said angry.
Yeah, he is very angry at all of this, and he just told me that you have to clean house.
Okay, but the courtesy resignation, was that suggestion, did that come from the president, or was that something you thought of?
We discussed it. We discussed it as a,
all right.
Just to show not only the DPWH but also the entire country that this is serious, and the president will not stand for it.
Secretary, the question now is, how do you sift through who you retain, who you would oust, who you would trust, and who you do not trust? At the end of the day,
that's a very difficult question.
You're the newbie coming in such a big organization. How many employees do you have?
Thousands, Pinky, thousands. I mean, DPWH is one of the biggest agencies in government. maybe only next to DepEd
yeah.
and the others, and maybe DOTR. No? Pero tingin ko mas malaki ang DPWH.
DOTR kasi marami siyang ahensya.
Yes, ang
Sumasama
DOTR
siya.
kasi, and it's, I think, by no means is DOTR an easy agency to manage, but because it's it's quite decentralized. You have LTO, LTFRB, CAAP, PPA. DPWH is one big, giant, centralized agency. I think that is the challenge. But I think that's a very difficult question, and I will need help. This is why I've asked for help from former DPWH secretaries. I've already been in touch with Senator Mark Villar, former DPWH secretary during the previous administration, and fortunately, I'm quite close to former DPWH Secretary Ping De Jesus, who's a fellow Kapampangan, and I'm also close to former Secretary Babe Singson. In fact, I'm meeting them over the weekend. We're having breakfast.
All three of you,
no,
or just the two?
Only Secretary Ping and Secretary Babes, and then I'm meeting Secretary Villar sometime next week as well. So I think what I want to ask from them is, number one, who are the people who are still there that they feel can help in this massive wave of reform that the president wants to happen in DPWH? I think that's my question, because I truly believe that the vast majority of the people who are in DPWH are good people. They're good people, they're honest people, they're very competent people. But as in any organization, you always have bad eggs. But the key now is to find out who those people are, and how do we bring them in to take on more important roles.
When you talk about the past...
and replace the bad.
When you talk about the past secretaries of the DPWH, the last being, of course, prior to Secretary BONOAN was...
Secretary Villar, former
Senator,
Secretary.
Senator Mark
Senator
Villar.
Villar, yes.
Yeah, he quit the post because tumakbo ho siya,
Opo,
hindi ho
opo,
ba?
opo.
What is the one thing you want to ask Senator Mark Villar about the DPWH?
Well, first of all, I want to get his input on personnel, because I think that is the most critical part of this reform wave that that the president wants to happen, because it all starts with the people. I mean, there is no way a project can be a ghost project without people from within the DPWH consenting to that and allowing that to happen. No way. Hindi mangyayari yun. Somebody's got to sign the acceptance, somebody's got to sign the voucher, somebody's got to sign the check. If, for example, this project in Baliwan, in Bulacan, no, na talagang nakita na, wala. It was non-existent. No? Walang proyekto doon. Yung paulit-ulit na presidente, guni-guni lang. No? But the president showed receipts, meaning money was paid in full to these contractors.
For ghost projects.
No,
yeah.
for a project that does not exist.
Yeah.
So it starts with the personnel. And I think I will ask all the secretaries, who are the people that you can recommend to us that can take over these critical positions? District engineer, regional director, bureau heads,
But that's the
etc.
question, sir. If the district engineer is possibly in cahoots with a regional director, who could also be in cahoots with somebody higher, how can you ask, let's say, someone like Senator Villar, Mark Villar, who to trust? Because can we assume, sir, that even in the past administrations, there was a lot
Yes.
of
Yes.
problems,
That's why I have to-
substandard, and even ghost projects, sir?
Absolutely. You know, as I was saying today, there's a lot of focus on the 2025 budget, Pinky. A lot of focus. But in reality, the 2025 budget is still in process. A lot of them are still, or most of them are still in the bidding process. So wala pa yun. No? And I think there's probably only a few that have actually begun the implementation. So hindi pa natin magagaman yung 2025. Kaya nga yung mga nakita ni Presidente sa Bulacan nung sumama ako sa kanya sa Kalumpit. Meron doon 2021, 2020, 2022. No, yung kasama niya si Mayor Magalong sa Baguio, yung
Tuba,
rock
Benguet.
shed
Yeah.
na sinabi ng Pangulo natin, yung pera dito, tinapon lang sa ilog to. Baliwala to, kailangan palitan to buo. 2018 pa daw yun, sabi ni Mayor Magalong. No? So, clearly, this goes several years back. But that's why I have to talk to a lot of them. No, and I'm fortunate that I have three that I can speak to just try to understand and try to really find the good people who I'm sure are there. We just have to find them.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about some of the district engineers, for example. Have you begun? Have you started? I know you're 48 hours, maybe 72 hours into the job, but has there
More
been...
like 24, really. But,
24.
yeah.
Oo. Pero Sunday kasi alam nyo na eh. So binilang ko na po yun. Have you started any investigation?
Well, when you say investigation, I have asked, because first of all, I have to bring a team. I have to bring a new team. No, and I'm already saying that I will be bringing a top management level team, meaning undersecretaries, assistant secretaries, in. But I have already asked some of them who I am going to be bringing in to already start looking at what we have seen already. I mean, first of all, there's a lot, and we're very thankful to Congress, the Senate and Congress, that a lot of the things that have been coming out. We obviously have some district engineers from Bulacan who have already appeared in the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. We have contractors that have been called. So we have to start there. And I've spoken to some senators already, and I'm asking for their help because I'm going to need that. But I think right now I'm focused really on from within. No?
House cleaning.
That has to be the focus. No? And that's what the president told me. No, we have to focus on cleaning up from within. And district engineers, regional directors, directors, bureau heads, and obviously going up the chain, ASEX, USEX. So we have to find out.
But you said you already have USEX and ASEX in mind. You're bringing in a new team.
Yes.
Yes. How many so far do you have?
Right now, I have about three.
Three.
That I've already convinced, and I will be, in the next few days, submitting them to the Office of the President for appointment, for
Obviously,
vetting and appointment.
People that you trust.
Yes.
You're not going to name them.
I'd rather not, Pinky. I'd rather not, but because obviously.
But they're not coming from the DOTR.
No. There is one.
There's one.
But not from DOTR Central, from somewhere else.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, but within the agency.
Okay, so we'll wait for that. Fair enough.
Yes.
You have three so far, but to have a good team to house clean, how many do you think you need?
More than three.
Yeah.
At least I think maybe close to 10 people. I think key positions have to be filled.
All right.
And yes, and obviously I need to bring in consultants. This is a very, it's a huge agency, as I said. But I really, unlike DOTR, which are mostly foreign-assisted projects, because these are the big tickets, the subway, the NSCR, and a lot of PPPs. DPWH is mostly locally funded projects. By and large, it's local. And to be quite frank, I need help there. I need people who understand those types of projects, because I'm more exposed to the big ticket flagship foreign funded projects and PPPs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to go back to what you were saying about house cleaning, and that some of the budget are still going to possibly be bidded out for 2025. Di ba? That's what you said
Yes.
a while ago.
Yes.
How are you going to assure now the public that whatever is bidded out, doon po sa natitirang pera, funding for 2025, will be, number one, a legitimate bid, number two, a contractor that will not use substandard materials, and number three, that they will not, siguro malabo na yung ghost, matatakot na po sila sa ghost ngayon, pero baka yung substandard at yung rigging ng bidding, how can you assure us that this won't happen?
First of all, I think I will need to put a pause to the current procurement. That's, I think, that just is the right thing to do. Knowing everything that has happened already, we have to pause that.
Okay.
And we have to quickly, but we cannot pause it too long because these projects are, most of them are legitimate projects that need to be built.
Okay.
And we're already so far behind a lot of these projects that we have to do things quickly. So, but we need to pause it because I think we need to, first of all, I need to see what the rules of procurement are in DPWH. I need to look at the bids and awards committees that are there. Ilan ba sila? No, sino ba sila?
That's very important.
Very important. No, very important.
Yung back.
And ano yung proseso? No? Ano yung proseso nila dyan? No?
Well,
I have to find that out. So we have to pause, we have to review, and if we see something that we feel is not right, we have to revise those procedures.
But you got to do it fast.
But
no?
we have to do it fast because these projects, I mean, need building. You know, they need to be built.
Will you allow multiple contractors bidding for the same project that could be connected to one family? I'll name it. For example, sir, the PCIJ already came out with a report that there is about, well, the Discaya Link companies bagged about 31 billion
Yes.
pesos from 2022 to 2025. This is based on the Sumbong sa Pangulo
Yes.
website. And then that coming in second place is the co-linked companies bagging 15.7 billion pesos. Ito po yung sa co-linked companies. So the question is, during the Senate investigation, napaamin po ng, I think
Yes,
it's
I saw
Senator Jinggoy,
Yes.
I think, napaamin po niya si Sara Discaya na multiple companies that they own
Bidding for the same project.
actually bid for the same project. Is that going to be allowed?
No, no way. That's collusion. Pinky, that's not allowed under our laws. Hindi pwede yun. Yun ang moro-moro o biding-bidingan. Kasi sika-sika naglalaban, hindi totoong bidding yun, hindi ba? So that should never be allowed.
How about a contractor who has a company that will bid and yung pong kapatid niya may ibang construction company, gusto din mag-bid?
It's the same.
At yung pinsan po nung papayagan niyo
It's
ba
the
yun?
same. No, hindi dapat.
So up to what degree ang
Well, we will
ipagbabawal
have to
ninyo?
look at the laws. No, we will have to look at the what is allowed, what is not allowed. Pero to me, lokohan yun eh. Lokohan yun eh. And it cannot be.
Okay.
And the problem is, and the president has said this. You know, I mean, this has to end. Enough is enough. You know, so that cannot be allowed.
All right.
And that's why we need to pause.
The 15 companies that the president named who are touted to be the top 15 contractors in the website of the Sumbong sa Pangulo, have you looked into them, the top 15 at least for now, sir? Kasi ang dami naman
Yes.
po niyan talaga.
We're starting to look already, and again, thankful for the Senate investigations and now the House investigations. You know, we are getting, because that's public record. We're getting the information, we're getting the evidence, at least from what we see, and that points us hopefully in the right direction.
Are you looking at blacklisting any of
Yes.
these 15?
Well, again, I said it. No, in the first briefing I had yesterday. To me, if it's a ghost project, that is automatic. It's automatic, and that's, I think, what we're going to focus on in the next couple of weeks. Because I know I've gotten reports of anywhere between 50 to 70
What's
of
50 to
them.
70?
Ghost projects.
50.
To 50 to
50 to 70. Okay.
Yeah, and I have to find that out. We have to verify. We have to look. We have to see, and we have to, once we see it's a ghost. I don't think there's any need for an investigation for that.
You were there in Bulacan with the president.
Yes.
There was a ghost project
No,
there.
in those two that I was, it was
Substandard.
clearly substandard. I mean, that was, you know, when the president, you know, just used his hand and, you know, the concrete
Cemento.
crumbled in his hands. No, so, but if it's ghost, I mean, hindi na yung pinag-usapan.
Pero
Ano na
sino
yun?
yung nakikita yung company now that is linked to a ghost project?
Well, yung isa doon, yung pinuntahan ni Presidente, yung sa Baliwag, yung, I forgot
Was
the
it
names.
Wawaw, sir? Or...
No, parang Sim S or something like that.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, but also we found out that they have also worked with Wawaw in other projects as well. So we have to verify if those projects are ghost projects or not. No?
Okay.
Kasi yun talaga tingin ko, ano na yun eh. kung sino man ang gumagawa nun, halang nambito ka nun eh. Kasi, I mean, isipin mo, 100,000,000, yung iba bilyon, tapos wala, zero.
All right.
I mean,
there's still a lot to discuss, sir, but we need to take a very short break. We'll continue our discussion with DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon when we return. Stay tuned. This is On Point. Welcome back. Still with us, DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon. So we were talking about na hindi na pwede talaga yung multiple companies of the same family bidding for a project. Ano po? What do you plan to do with this supposed 9 construction companies of the Discayas? What can be done, or how do you actually move forward now?
I think right now our plan is really, number one, we've got to look at these projects. No, especially those projects that have been brought to the attention to the attention of the president through the Isumbong Mo sa Pangulo website. We have to look at that, and we have to, number one, check, are they ghost projects? Are they substandard projects? And then based on that, then we move on to the next step, which is to hold people from within the DPWH account. No, and that's a district engineer, etc., going up. No, and find out. Kasi may trail naman yan eh. Di ba? Sinong nag-approve, sinong nag-accept, no? Sinong, makikita mo naman eh. Dapat makikita natin. Yun. So, I think that is our plan. And obviously, the contractors that did those projects. No, so I think that is our plan, and we will gather all the information, and that's why we're very, very thankful and supportive of the president's wisdom to create the independent commission.
Right.
Because I think that provides a very credible way by which to not only ferret out the truth, but also to hold people to account.
You said you weren't you were not in favor with this House investigation.
No, the internal investigation of DPWH.
Yeah, that's one. Binawag niyo po yun, the task force, right? That's done.
I mean, that is totally unacceptable.
But the House, you're okay with that?
No, the House and the Senate, I mean, that is their mandate. That is their mandate for...
In aid of legislation.
And to oversight. No, of oversight. Yeah. So, I mean, and in fact, I'm quite thankful because at least lumagabas yung impormasyon.
Okay.
No? Makakatulong po yun. Hindi lang po sa DPWH, kundi pati dito sa itatay yung independent commission.
Who would be, I know this is up to the president, no? But is it true, would you be able to at least say that possibly Mayor Benji Magalang will be part of that commission?
Parang meron pong statement ngayon si Mayor Magalang. I don't know, no? I haven't seen the news that either inoffer siya or pinag-iisipan niya. I don't know. But I mean, I don't know, to be quite honest. Okay. I don't know who. And of course, that is the president's prerogative.
Right.
But I mean, I've known Mayor Magalong for a long time. We were together in the COVID task force, and you know, he's a man of integrity, and I think the country will be well served, you know, with him being involved in this. You know? But that is up to the president.
Yeah. You know, Secretary, when I talk to, and when I interview local government officials or congressmen, even a governor, sometimes it's really a question of who is really supposed to be on top of for example, let's just stick to flood control projects. A congressman lobbies with DPWH for a flood control project in their area. The local government says they're not even consulted.
Correct.
That's why the president said dapat ikonsulta ang mga mayor, mga governor, etc. Ano ho ba talaga yung track na pinupuntahan nito? Paano ho ba talaga? Is it just the DPWH, and then is it the DPWH that signs off on it completed, and then the COA looks into it? Wala ho ba talagang ano ang participation?
Mukhang wala pong participation ng local government, to be quite honest. Because today I just got a message from the Vice Governor of Pampanga, actually suggesting the same thing that others have been suggesting, that local government units in the province should be involved. Because first of all, it's in their area.
Right.
They have their own, as we know, provinces, cities, they have their own planning offices, which plan out all these infrastructure projects, flood control, roads, etc. No, so to me, it makes perfect sense. And it's actually very surprising to me that apparently in this current system that has been going on for quite it doesn't mean they're actually even involved.
All right. Let's go to...
we have to fix that.
Ito po, yung kay Henry Alcantara, yung pong dating DE ng Bulacan, ano po. In today's hearing, I think he was also saying that, he signed off on completion of projects, etc. Umami naman po siya. Pero I think, if I'm not mistaken, ang sabi din niya, hindi talaga nai-inspect because he actually trusts whoever forwarded the papers to him for his signature. And I can imagine, sir, from the district, pupunta yan sa regional, tapos magsa-sign off din. Ang sabi ho, sa daan-daang proyekto na kailangang
That's no
tingnan,
excuse, Pinky.
Hindi kaya.
That is no excuse.
So you won't allow that?
No. I mean, it just shows you how broken the system is. Pinky, it's broken. I mean, how can you, ikaw ang district engineer, sakop mo yung distrito, kung 100 proyekto yan, under sa'yo yan. Tapos sasabihin mo, ay hindi ko kayang inspektin kasi ang dami.
Ba't ka pa naging district engineer?
Anong klaseng, hindi, inexcusable yun. And kung yun nga ang pagusot,
ano yun? Is that clear negligence, sir? Would you say that's clear negligence or?
Well, that's one way of seeing it, negligence, but it could be more than that, right? Paano ka makakapagpagusot ng ghost project, Pinky?
Okay.
Nababayaran. Ibig sabihin, nagpagusot sila, nagbayad sila in full sa contractor without even seeing if the project actually existed. I mean,
unacceptable.
Unacceptable. And hindi para sa akin, hindi kang negligence yun.
Okay. There's two topics I still want to discuss. It's the 2026 budget, which the senators and congressmen are looking into right now, and this overarching theme. Secretary, I'll start with this. So many people are invested dito po sa flood control projects now. The public is invested in it. Everyone's saying, pera natin to, kawawa naman yung mga tao, kailangan bang pumunta pa sa loss of lives, damage to property, damage to, even their day-to-day living, no, dun sa mga nababaha. Sir, in this web of corruption, how do you foresee cleaning this up? Kasi kung nandyan po ang DPWH, andyan po ang politiko, andyan po ang contractor, yun po lang naman ang lumalabas na mga segments no na in this corruption scheme. How will you clean it? How are you planning to make siguro have the public trust the DPWH again, have the public trust the contractors again, and maybe even the politicians? It's going to take a long time, I think, to rebuild trust. We have to accept that. And I said that to the DPWH employees earlier, in the officials. I said, walang tiwala ang tao sa institusyon na ito ngayon. Kailangan nating bawiin yon. Kailangan nating buhayin yung pagtitiwala yan. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take time, and it's going to take a lot of effort. Pero paano mo bubuhayin yun in 2.5 years?
To be honest, I don't know if I can bring back trust in 2.5 years. I don't know, Pinky. This thing has been going on for decades, Pinky. Itong sistemang ito, in varying degrees, has been going on for decades. I don't even know how if I can do that. But sabi nga ni Pangulo, we have to start somewhere. No, we have to start somewhere. And it's really about people. It's about the system, how it works. It's about putting in safeguards there. Hindi to madali. Walang magic bullet dito na milagro na all of a sudden okay na yan. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of time.
And it'll probably also very important is the budget next year, sir.
Yes.
So there have
Yes.
been supposed red flag discoveries of some of the senators rather, and even some congressmen. Sabi po ata ni Senator Ping, 50 billion in flood control projects that are identical allotments in the 2026 budget during their meeting with the DBCC.
Yes.
And you said that magkakaroon po ng erratum. What do you plan to do? Ibig sabihin, parang lumalabas, plain and simple, tila may problema na naman itong DPWH budget for 2026. That's what it appears.
Hindi ka po tiga.
Sige,
May
aminin
problema
na natin,
talaga.
may problema. Okay.
Nakita naman sa hearings. No? Ako, I have a very simple mind, Pinky. Ano lang, simple lang. Kung ang project, parehong project pero dalawang entry, doble. Times 2, double project. O di, simple lang, o di tatanggalin mo yung isa. Diba? So babawasan mo yon. Ngayon, mayroon din ako narinig, sinabi ni, I don't know if it was Congressman Ronnie Puno or Congressman Marcy Chudoro, who said, meron daw silang nakitang 26 na completed projects na nandun pa rin at may pondo pa rin. In my simple mind, kung completed na, ba't nandun? Dapat tanggalin yun. Hindi ba? Completed na eh. Hindi ba? Unless partially completed, hindi ko alam. So, to me, I think we should not overcomplicate this. If it's a double entry and it's a project that needs to be built, then take out the other entry. And whatever the amount there, ibawas.
Just quick question. Remember, please hold that thought, sir. Pwede ho kasi may isang proyekto na sabihin po natin, 1 kilometro yung proyektong yon. Kaya po hinati sa dalawa, it could be the first phase is the 500, and then the next phase is the half kilometer, and then the other half kilometer. So there could be 2 entries. I'm just thinking, sir, that could be a possibility.
Posible, pero kailangan nga alamin natin. Okay. And this is all about the principle of transparency. Diba? So ibig sabihin nun, kung unclear, on its face, if you look at the line items of the budget, and it says X project in this area, and then it's the same entry with the same, that if you're saying it's phase 1 and phase 2, then it should say phase 1. It should say phase 2. It should say this road is from here to here, and this one is from here to here.
Is it safe to say inaaral niyo na po yung budget?
Hindi pa. Hindi pa. I haven't even gotten a briefing yet.
I see.
So I have to prepare for the budget hearing on Friday. But to me, and I've worked in Congress kasi in the Senate, I understand the budget a little bit. But to me, we just have to keep things simple. If it's the same project, doble, tanggalin. Kung completed na at nandyan pa rin, bakit nandyan, tanggalin.
You know, we actually are over time, but this needs to be asked, sir. Are you going to move for a unified master plan for flood mitigation projects for the whole country? Why? Because Secretary BONOAN said, wala po tayong unified master plan. Secretary Babes was saying that way back during the Pinoy administration, they actually had a master plan. The problem was it was not implemented. I don't know if he said that or I read it in the opinion of the Inquirer, yung billions down the drain, something that was very interesting for me. How important is it, sir, to have a unified master plan? And is this something you will do while you are Secretary of the DPWH?
Not having a master plan for anything, even just a house, is a recipe for disaster. Okay? Because if you don't have a plan, what you're gonna do is pachi-pachi ka. Dito ka, dito, tapos hindi sila nag-uusap. Kayo, yung hindi kinakausap ang local government, hindi kinakausap ang probinsya. Paano kung may ginagawa yung probinsya doon?
Tapos may ginagawa
din DPWH. Ano yung papatong-patong mo?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. There needs to be a master plan.
Are you willing to look into that master plan by the Pinoy administration, supposedly that they finished, sir?
In fact, you know, that's going to be one of my items to discuss with Sec Babes this weekend when I see him. And we need it. We need it. It's not easy to make one, Pinky. It takes time.
I'm sure.
It takes time, but we need it.
DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon, sir, we wish you luck.
Thank you very much.
It's a big challenge. This is probably the biggest challenge.
Yes, absolutely.
Have yet to
I thought
face.
it was DOTR.
Meron pa po pala. Maraming salamat po and good luck. Thank you. That's On Point. Join us again tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. I'm Pinky Webb. Thank you for watching.